This is going to be multiplying radicals. It's not too hard, especially if you understand how to simplify radicals. This is really easy. Okay, so I'm going to do, I believe, 7 of them, and then I'll let you do the rest of this on your own, and I'm going to let you know which ones you do not have to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with number 1. You have 3 squared to 12 times the square root of 6. First thing we're going to do is we're going to simplify this by multiplying the numbers on the outside and the numbers on the inside. On the outside you have a 3 right here, okay, and the invisible number is your 1. 3 times 1 is 3, and now we're going to look at your square root. You have the square root of 12 times the square root of 6. 12 times 6 is 72, so we have 3 square roots of 72. Once you do that, it's easy. Now we're going to do the stuff that we did on the simplifying your radicals. Let's start with 72. I need 2 numbers that go into 72. I can pick 8 and 9. Okay, 8 would be 2 and 4. 4, your 2 numbers are 2 and 2. For 9, we have 3 and 3. Okay, so I'm going to ignore the 3 for right now. So I'm just going to I'll leave it right out here out front. And now I'm going to go ahead and do my square root part. So we have the square root of, I have 1, 2, 3 2's. So 1, 2, 3 2's. And I have 2 3's. So 1, 2 3's. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just bring this 3 down again. Don't need to worry about it for right now. I'm going to go ahead and do my pairs. I have a pair of 2's, circle it, write it down, cross it out. Pair of 3's, circle it, write it down, cross it out. That is an ugly circle. And then I have a 2 left over and my square root. So square root of 2. Okay, so now I'm going to multiply everything on the outside. 3 times 2 times 3 will give me 18. And then all I have left is the square root of 2. And that's it. Alright, let me go ahead and do number 2. Slide right on over here. Okay, so number 2, I don't have anything on the outside besides my invisible 1, and 1 times 1 is just 1. But I do have numbers on the inside the square root. So for the inside of the square root, I'm going to do 5 times 10, and that gets me 50. Once you simplify that, all you have to do is simplify square root of 50. So I need 2 numbers that can go into 50. We can do 5 and 10. 2 numbers that go into 10 are 2 and 5. Okay, so I'm going to do my square root again. I have 2, 5, and 5 as my prime numbers. So 2 times 5 times 5. There's nothing left. Circle your pairs, write it down, cross it out. And all you have left is just a 2. So the square root of 5 times the square root of 10 simplifies to 5 square roots of 2. Okay, and do number 3. Slide all the way back over here. Look on the outside first. You have 1 times 1, which is just 1. And on the inside, we have 6 times 6. That's going to give us the square root of 36. Well, that's really easy because what's the square root of 36? Just 6. Alright, let me go ahead and do number 5. Number 5, you have, look on the outside first. We have a negative 4, okay, right here, and we have a negative 1. Multiply those first. Negative 4 times a negative 1 is a positive 4. Now we're going to focus on our square roots. Okay, so we definitely have a square root. 15 times 3 is 45. So let's go ahead and simplify the square root of 45. Need 2 numbers that go into 45. We can do 3 and 15. 3 is a prime number, so let's focus on 15. 2 numbers that go into 15 are 3 and 5. Okay, So I still have the 4 over here in front. We ignore it just for right now. And then we have the square root of, I have 2 3's and a 5. So 3 times 3 times 5. And there's nothing left of prime numbers. So you still have your 4. Now we're going to focus on our pairs. I have one pair of 3's. Put that on the outside. Square root, cross it out. All you have left is just a 5. Well, that becomes really easy. 4 times 3 is 12. And on the inside, you still have a 5. So that's your final answer. Okay, and the last one that I'm going to do, because this is very similar to the other video that I did of simplifying, is going to be number 7. Alright, so for this one, multiply what you have on the outside. Well, you just have a 1 times a 1 just gives you 1. And now we're going to multiply on the inside. 15 times 10 is 150. Okay. N squared times n to the cube. This is where you have to know your exponent rules. Whenever you multiply, what do you do to your exponents? You add them. So we have 2 plus 3, and that's going to give us 5. That is going to be your biggest mistake today, is that you forget when you multiply, you add exponents. A lot of you are going to put on here 6, okay? Down here you'll put 6. You don't do that. You don't multiply, you have to add. So now we're going to go ahead and simplify this. I have 150. Okay, use 2 numbers. Well, let's use the 2 that I multiplied to get to it, 15 and 10. You don't have to, but it's fairly easy. 15 is just 3 times 5, and 10 is just 2 times 5. So I have the square root. Write out my prime numbers, okay? I started with a 2, I got a 3, and then I have 2 5s. Okay, so that takes care of the 150 part. Then you have n to the 5th power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write n 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all still underneath the square root. Once you have that on underneath the square root, we pull out our pairs. I have a pair of 5s, circle it, cross it out. I have a pair of n's, circle it, cross it out. Another pair of n's, circle it, write down, cross it out. And what I have left on the inside is a 2 times 3 times that n. Okay, so here we go. You have a 5. I'm going to leave my 5 out on the outside. N times n, remember your little exponents that you have here? You have little 1 and a little 1. When you multiply, you add. So n times n would be n squared. On the inside of your square root, you have 2 times 3 is 6, and then you have an n just hanging out. So your final answer is 5n squared times the square root of 6n. Right, so there's a couple problems left for you to do on here. I'll give you some good news. Let me zoom out so I can cross these out. You can cross out number 11, 12, 13, and 14. And then on the back side, you're going to do all these problems because there's not a parentheses. I'm not going to show you how to distribute these square roots just yet. Okay, so you're going to work on the rest of them that we did not do in these notes, and hopefully you wrote this stuff down to help you out. And then you'll do the problems on the back and turn it into the sub whenever you are finished.